Today in the Safer Pilot Challenge, we're going to master short field landings.
Welcome to the Safer Pilot Challenge.
What's happening, MzeroA Nation? Jason Schapper here in the pattern at Marco Island. I'm going to share with you how to hit your point that you're aiming for. Because a short field landing, and we make a lot of mistakes with this, is a precision landing. It's a spot landing. We have different tolerances for private and for commercial applicants here, but the goal is nothing before my point and 200 or 100 feet beyond my point. Let me get a beam my point. My point, by the way, is the beginning of the first centerline stripe. Marco on traffic, Skyhawk 23 Mike Zulu's turning left base 17, touch and go, Marco. All right, now remember the purpose of a short field landing. We get so focused on hitting our point that we forget, oh, I'm clearing an obstacle. I'm clearing a 50-foot obstacle and then dropping it down and hitting my point to maximize the effective runway length. That's the real purpose. So it's easy at a place like Marco Island to say, oh, I'm going to drag it in, I'm going to hold it just above the marsh here, and as soon as I get above my point, I'll chop the power and I'll land. And people do that, but that's just a dragging it in landing. That's not a real short field landing. So we're aiming for the beginning of the first centerline stripe. And by the way, you should be able, make a radio call real quick. Marco on traffic, Skyhawk 23 Mike Zulu's turn final 17, touch and go, Marco. You should be able to land at any point an examiner or instructor or you desire. Touchdown on the numbers, touchdown on the 1,000-foot marks, touchdown on the beginning of the first centerline stripe, whatever that may be. Now this right here is critical. Airspeed is king, we're managing that. I'm getting my last notch of flaps in here. And I'm watching my point. If I could draw a circle right here, I would watch that point. If that point starts creeping up, I'm getting too low. And if I start losing that point here, I'm getting too high. My eyes right now are actually looking at the beginning of the 17 because I know I am going to float. This airplane has a tendency to float. I'm aiming ahead of my point, knowing that I'm going to float just beyond it. So let's say hypothetically we just cleared our 50-foot obstacle. All is looking good. Speed is managed well. Looking ahead of your point. Pushing that nose ahead of that point. Looking good. Looking good. Here we are. We now transition. Roll it out. Roll it out. Roll it out. And just like that, we set it down. I'm just doing touch and go. Car beats in. Flaps slowly working their way up. Here they come. And here we go. Airspeed's alive, engine gauge is green, green, green. Here we go. Little crosswind correction there, and we are up and flying again. Your touchdown point and your aiming point are two very different things. Your aiming point, and I could have even made my aiming point a little bit further ahead if I needed to, because there's so many factors in here. I'm dealing with a pretty serious wind. Let's listen to it here together.
Storm. Information not available. Marco Island Executive Airport. Automated weather observation. 2148 Zulu. Wind 200 at 09er.
Okay, so I got 200 at 9er. So not a huge wind, but a pretty standard, pretty average wind to deal with. Okay, so that much of an aiming point worked for 9 knots of wind with a little bit of a crosswind component in there. What about if it was 15 knots? What if it was calm winds, right? You have to fly on some different days to get that different experience. Marco Island traffic, Skyhawk 23 Mike Zulu's turn left crosswind 17, Marco. That's what it's really all about. Listen, I hope you're loving the 31-day Safer Pilot Challenge. If you love this, don't forget about our online ground school. Check it out, MzeroAtrial.com. Check it out, full private, instrument, commercial, fundamentals of instructing, all here to serve you, all with that mission of mastery, all with that mission of making you a safer, smarter pilot. I know you're going to pass your written test. You're going to pass your check or the flying colors using our course. But I'm in the business of you and a loved one sitting right next to you or sitting in the back seat and you flying somewhere fun with them. That's what we're really in the business of. So, can't wait to read your comments down below this video.
Marco Island traffic, clear 30 Alpha X-ray is RNAV 17 inbound, 10 miles out.